Excuse me, but I've been working on this a long time. Trust me, it'll work.
You don't see your mistake, do you?
There's no mistake.
This is for a full-scale rocket, not a model.
Well, I've adjusted the formula.
Not correctly.
For 12 unforgettable years, The Big Bang Theory wasn't just a TV show, it was a cultural phenomenon. It made science cool, turned quirky nerds into household names, and gave us moments of laughter, love, and heartbreak that millions still quote to this day. But when the series finale aired in 2019, fans were left wondering, what happens when the laughter stops? The stars who brought Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, and the rest of the gang to life became some of the most famous faces on television. But once the cameras shut off, their lives took turns no one could have predicted. From personal struggles and career reinventions to shocking tragedies and quiet disappearances. So today, we're diving deep into The Big Bang Theory cast, where they are now, what they've been through, and the truth behind what really happened after the show that changed their lives forever. But the real question is, did fame bring them happiness? Or did it come with a price none of them were ready to pay? Jim Parsons, walking away from Sheldon Cooper. Jim Parsons was the Big Bang Theory. As Sheldon Cooper, the socially awkward, genius physicist with a love for trains, comic books, and contracts, Parsons became the beating heart of the series. His performance earned him 4 Emmy Awards and a fortune that made him one of TV's highest-paid actors. But in 2018, the unthinkable happened. Jim told the producers he wanted out. It wasn't drama, it wasn't money, it was exhaustion. After more than a decade in the role, Parsons admitted he'd simply reached his limit, mentally and emotionally. He loved Sheldon, but he couldn't be Sheldon anymore. The decision stunned his co-stars, and when Parsons announced his exit, it set off a chain reaction that ended the show itself. Without Sheldon, there could be no Big Bang Theory. After the show ended, Jim took a step back from acting, choosing instead to focus on producing, theater, and voice work. He found peace away from the spotlight, even lending his voice to the hit spin-off Young Sheldon. Still, fans wonder, does he ever miss the character that made him famous? Or does he still carry the weight of being known as the man who ended one of TV's greatest comedies? Kaley Cuoco, from Girl Next Door to Hollywood powerhouse. Kaley Cuoco's journey from Penny, the bubbly aspiring actress turned successful pharmaceutical rep, to one of Hollywood's most respected women has been nothing short of extraordinary. During The Big Bang Theory, Kaley became a fan favorite, funny, down-to-earth, and the emotional glue of the ensemble. But behind the scenes, things weren't always easy. Her highly publicized romances, including a short-lived marriage and several painful breakups, often overshadowed her career. She's spoken openly about struggling with anxiety, loneliness, and the difficulty of growing up in the public eye. But Kaley refused to let heartbreak define her. After the show ended, she came roaring back with The Flight Attendant, a dark comedy that not only earned her critical acclaim, but also proved she was far more than just Penny. She's since founded her own production company, become a mother, and continues to dominate both film and TV. But even with all that success, Cuoco admits, The Big Bang Theory changed her forever. The friendships she made on that set, especially with Jim Parsons and Johnny Galecki, remain some of the most important in her life. Yet fans still ask, will Kaley ever return to comedy, or has she left Penny behind for good? Johnny Galecki, The Quiet Life After Leonard. Johnny Galecki was already a familiar face to 90s audiences from Roseanne, but The Big Bang Theory turned him into a global star. As Leonard Hofstadter, the lovable, awkward physicist who somehow wins Penny's heart, Galecki brought warmth and heart to every episode. But after 12 years of intense filming, Johnny decided to do something few stars in Hollywood ever do. disappear. Since the finale, he's largely stepped away from acting, choosing instead to focus on his family and life away from Los Angeles. He quietly moved to Tennessee, where he's been raising his son and living a peaceful private life. While fans may miss seeing him on screen, those close to him say he's finally found what he was missing during all those years of fame: normalcy. Still, rumors persist that Galecki might one day return to TV. But after building a life far from Hollywood's chaos, would he ever want to go back? Mayim Bialik, the genius who found herself again. For Mayim Bialik, The Big Bang Theory wasn't just another acting job, it was a comeback. A real-life neuroscientist, she joined the show in Season 3 as Amy Farrah Fowler, Sheldon's brilliant and hilariously awkward love interest. Mayim's story is one of resilience. Before Big Bang, she had nearly quit acting altogether to focus on science and raising her children. But the show gave her a second chance and a platform to advocate for women in STEM and mental health awareness. After the series ended, she continued acting and even ventured into hosting, taking on Jeopardy after Alex Trebek's passing. But that came with immense pressure and public scrutiny. Fans criticized every word, every expression, and every mistake, turning what should have been a triumph into another test of endurance. Through it all, Bialik remained unapologetically herself, intelligent, outspoken, and compassionate. But one question lingers. After balancing fame, family, and criticism for so long, how much longer can she keep holding it all together? Simon Helberg, From Comedy to the Big Screen. Simon Helberg, known to fans as Howard Wolowitz, the smooth-talking engineer with a questionable wardrobe, quietly became one of the most talented and underrated performers of the group. His comedic timing made him unforgettable, but after Big Bang, Simon wanted more than laughs. He shifted toward serious roles, appearing in acclaimed films like Annette and As They Made Us, proving his dramatic range was every bit as impressive as his comedy chops. Helberg has always valued his privacy, keeping his family life far from Hollywood gossip. But insiders say he's happier now than ever, focusing on creative projects that feed his soul rather than his fame. Still, fans can't help but wonder, will Simon ever return to TV comedy? Or has the man who made us laugh so hard finally moved on for good? Kunal Nayyar, Escaping the Shadow of Rauch. Kunal Nayyar's portrayal of Rauch Koothrappali, the shy astrophysicist who couldn't talk to women, made him one of Big Bang Theory's most beloved characters. But the fame that came with it wasn't easy to handle. In interviews after the show ended, Kunal confessed that he struggled with identity and anxiety. For years, people only saw him as Rauch, not as himself. He once admitted that the pressure of fame left him feeling isolated, trapped by a character that millions loved, but he couldn't escape. To find peace, Kunal turned inward. He embraced meditation, spiritual growth, and storytelling that reflected who he truly was. He's since starred in several dramas, showing audiences a side they'd never seen before, and in doing so, reclaimed his voice. Today, Kunal says he's finally at peace, grateful for The Big Bang Theory, but no longer defined by it. Melissa Rauch, Reinventing Herself After Bernadette. Melissa Rauch joined The Big Bang Theory in Season 3 as Bernadette Rostenkowski, the sweet, small but fierce microbiologist with a surprisingly strong personality. Her role grew into one of the most iconic on the show, earning her millions and a loyal fan base. But after the series ended, Melissa faced a challenge many sitcom stars do: how to move forward after being part of something so massive. She took time away from acting to focus on her family, before making a successful return as the lead in NBC's Night Court revival, where she also serves as a producer. The transition wasn't easy. Audiences initially struggled to see her as anyone other than Bernadette. But Melissa proved she was more than capable of standing on her own. Her story is one of quiet determination and a reminder that sometimes the best way to honor your past is to grow beyond it. The end that broke everyone's hearts. When The Big Bang Theory ended in 2019, it wasn't just the end of a show, it was the end of a family. The cast cried during the final taping. Crew members who had been there since day one embraced. The laughter, the long nights, the inside jokes. It all came to an end with one final line and one final bow. Jim Parsons later revealed that it was one of the hardest days of his life, not because of fame or fortune, but because of friendship. Each cast member walked away with millions, but what they really lost was a chapter of their lives they could never recreate. And even though they've all moved on, there's still an emptiness, the kind that only happens when something truly special ends. But maybe the real magic of The Big Bang Theory is that it never really ended. It lives on, in reruns, in fan memories, and in the laughter it continues to bring to millions around the world. The legacy that will never fade. It's been years since The Big Bang Theory said goodbye, but its stars and their stories continue to remind us of something powerful. Fame fades, careers change, but the bonds we form and the moments that make us laugh last forever. Jim Parsons found peace. Kaley Cuoco found strength. Johnny Galecki found quiet. Each one of them learned something that the show itself always tried to teach. That no matter how complicated life gets, friendship makes it worth living. So maybe the real Big Bang wasn't in physics. It was in how these ordinary actors came together and created something extraordinary. Because in the end, The Big Bang Theory wasn't just about science, or jokes, or sitcom moments. It was about family. And that's something that will never go out of style. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true stories behind Hollywood's biggest shows and stars. And remember, sometimes the brightest stars shine the hardest once the cameras stop rolling.